Good evening, I'm Brady Gallagher. Coming up in the newscast, the U.S. government shuts down and former congressman's aide is charged with sexual assault.
And I'm Steve Majiri with an update on KU football and tennis. We also have Kyle Ashenfelder with the weather and the elegant Haley Bianco with Hollywood Minute. Newsbreak begins now.
We start off tonight's broadcast with news from the nation's capital. 1/3 of the U.S. government was shut down this past Tuesday after a disagreement on a new budget between the Senate and the White House, leaving almost 800,000 federal employees furloughed and closing all national parks. The Environmental Protection Agency and NASA have closed many of their operations. However, military and law enforcement personnel are to continue normal procedures. If the government remains shut down for 3 weeks, the annual economic growth rate for October through December will slow to 0.09%, which makes the value of 1/4 1.6 cents less. In Berks County news, a former aide to Congressman Tim Holden has been charged with sexual assault against a Reading man who was 21 years old at the time of the incident. On Monday, 53-year-old Timothy Smith was charged with aggravated indecent assault and indecent assault for the incident on September 20th, 2009. Allegedly, Smith climbed in bed and fondled the man who had fallen asleep due to intoxication. The victim is now 25, and he reported the incident 4 years ago, but Berks County District Attorney John Adams did not file charges against Smith due to a lack of evidence. Adams gave the case to the state and charges were implemented against Smith. If convicted, Smith could serve up to 12 years in prison. Now, let's head over to Haley Bianco with some Hollywood news on this week's edition of Hollywood Minute.
Hey guys, Haley here with your Hollywood Minute. Almost 3 months later, the investigation of former Glee star Corey Monteith's death has been closed. Monteith was found dead in his hotel room on July 13th. Previously, we knew that he died from an overdose. Now, with the coroner's final report, we learned that he overdosed from a mixture of heroin and alcohol. The death was ruled accidental. But don't worry, I won't leave you on a sad note. We can't have a Hollywood Minute this week without mentioning Miley Cyrus. This girl is literally all over the place this week. Wednesday night was her MTV documentary, Miley the Movement, and this weekend she will be hosting Saturday Night Live. Currently, Miley's in New York City preparing for the show, and we all can't wait to twerk to her new album, Bangers, coming out October 8th. And that sums it up for Hollywood this week. Now let's head back to the desk.
It's so sad what happens to some Hollywood stars nowadays.
Yeah, it really is, but he's in a better place.
Colin, you're gonna go this way. Okay, stop yet. Whoa. No, I want to hear it. Okay, we'll hear this right now. I'm gonna go call your
Stop. Okay, go on.
I'm gonna show you some real music stuff, okay? Oh, this is fantastic.
I know,
Your feminine side, which, yeah.
I don't have a feminine side, it's outrageous.
Stop arguing, you nincompoops. Aren't you three supposed to be promoting the show you idiots were blabbering about before? I suppose I'll just handle it myself. Mic Check is a half-hour-long program showcasing local music talents based in and around the Lehigh Valley. Featured bands perform live music and are interviewed. How was that? You think you could have done better? Mic Check. Airing Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Fridays at 1 p.m.
For October, the weather's been really nice lately.
Nice isn't hot. And I don't like hot weather. I sweat too much. Kyle, is it going to get any better?
You don't like hot weather? Well, it is going to get a little better, but it's going to stay hot for quite a while here. Today we had a high of 81 degrees. It was pretty cloudy out, so you weren't burning too much underneath the sun. But tonight it's going to cool down a little bit, of course, 58 degrees and cloudy for tonight. Now tomorrow we will have a partly cloudy day with a high of 82 degrees and a low of 58. Let's go to the rest of the week. And on Saturday, or the weekend I should say, on Saturday night it's going to be partly cloudy and we're going to have 82 degrees as a high and 60 degrees as our low. It'll be good weather for the football game. Go KU Bears. Check out KUBears.com. And Sunday, it's going to be a nice sunny day with a high of 81 degrees and a low of 61. Monday, we're going to have clouds and a lot of cloudage, and we're going to have a high of 69 degrees. Tuesday and Wednesday, we will have partly cloudy days with highs of 69 on Tuesday and 65 on Wednesday. So it's going to be a pretty nice week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Kyle. Earlier today, our field reporter Haley Bianco spoke to the Kutztown Borough's Chief of Police, Craig Summers, about campus crime.
The Kutztown Borough Police Department deals with off-campus activity in the town of Kutztown.
Serious crimes this year, if you're talking this school year, is down. Minor offenses, things like underage drinking, public drunkenness, disorderly conduct, they are up, way up.
Police strive to remind students that acts such as public urination and public intoxication at any age are illegal and will result in charges. Chief Summers urges KU students to be aware of their surroundings, to walk in groups, and to trust their instincts. If a friend is indeed too drunk, be a good Samaritan and call the police. If you find yourself in a more violent situation, be prepared by having pepper spray on hand and dialing 911. For Newsbreak, Haley Bianco, KUTV.
We now have a budget update from Kutztown University President. Javier Cevallos has stated, for the 2013-2014 year, we used base budget cuts and one-time funds to address the deficit. Currently, there is a $10.3 million deficit for the 2014-2015 year that will be addressed in the same manner. Costs have increased relating to inflation and such things as salary and benefit increases for all employees. A balanced budget is in the making for next year due to the serious fiscal challenges. The grand opening of the newly renovated Schaefer Auditorium was held on Monday at 7:30 p.m. There were several musical performances, including Dr. Daniel Emmel playing the piano and other KU music groups. Cake was served and many were dressed to impress. Were you there at the grand opening?
I wasn't. I would have loved to see Dr. Immel play the piano. That man really is talented.
We'll be back after this.
Yeah, look out the corner of the eye, we can see the stand one.
Be sure to tune in Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. to catch co-hosts Devin Raventoss and Eddie Rishit as they travel around the Berks County and Lehigh Valley area, exploring some great places to visit. Camera One re-airs Wednesdays at 7:30 and Fridays at 12:30. Don't miss it.
Choose Kutztown University.
This past weekend, the KU football team dropped to 0-4 with a heartbreaking loss to interdivisional rival Westchester by a final score of 22-21. The Golden Bears were in control for the most part as they led for all but 13 minutes of the game. The defense played at a level higher than anyone expected as they held one of Division II's most prolific rushing attacks to a mere 51 yards. Head coach Drew Fulmer was extremely proud of his defensive unit as they continually put the team in a position to win. And I quote, "Our kids came out hard and competed hard for 4 quarters, Fulmer said. They have played hard all season, and with the effort they are giving every week, the results will eventually come." There was no absence of offense as quarterback Alec Werner continued his stellar play as the freshman threw for 339 yards on 26 of 49 passing. Brett Fox was the main recipient of Werner's passes as he hauled in 13 catches for 190 yards, both of which are career highs. Fox's 190 receiving yards are the most by a Golden Bear receiver since Alfred Quile's 309 yards from 2007. KU took the helm early and did not look back until the 8-minute mark to the fourth quarter when Westchester capped off a drive with a 30-yard touchdown to cut the lead to 5. After a failed 3rd and short, KU was forced to punt, and the Golden Rams marched 66 yards in 5 plays to take a 1-point lead. KU managed to march down to the Westchester 38, but a late turnover ultimately put the proverbial nail in the coffin to seal the game. KU will look to rebound this weekend as it will host Slippery Rock. Kickoff is scheduled at 1:05 p.m. on University Field and will be broadcast on KU TV. Now to women's tennis, as the Lady Bears began their team play this weekend as they participated in the Bloomsburg Invitational. Chelsea Davis and Hannah Pipkin were bright spots for KU, as they were the only Lady Bears to secure victories on both days. In the first round of day 1, Chelsea Davis took down East Stroudsburg's Taylor Presby 6-2, 6-2, and in the second round, Pipkin and Erica Diffendahl both secured wins to finish up the day. Hannah Pipkin and Chelsea Davis were the only Lady Bears that were able to secure victories on the second day, as Davis defeated Anastasia English in a super breaker 6-7, 6-1, 10-5. And Pipkin also topped Kendra Crocker 6-4, 6-3. KU will look to rebound as it has its first home match of the season when it takes on Mercyhurst at 1 p.m. on Friday at the Keystone Sports. That's all for sports, and remember to log on to KUBears.com for all the latest in KU athletics.
That's all we have for you tonight. We'll see you again on Thursday.
For Brady, Kyle, Haley, and the rest of the crew,
Good night.